friends and family and doing like really fun stuff before I go. So that's been really nice. And then my bud is that I'll be moving in on Saturday. So I'm really, really excited to like see everyone again and just kind of like be back in the swing of things.
Great, great. You, Caroline? Well, do you want to do it again? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
sure.
Great.
Um, so I'm going to use the same thorn, which is that my glasses completely fell apart on Monday. So I had to spend like 2 days searching for a new pair. But my rose is that I finally got a new pair yesterday. So that's
Mm.
good. And for Bud, I'm just going to go ahead and use the Game of Thrones finale because that's the thing that I'm
Oh
looking
my
forward to the
God.
most.
So excited. So excited. I just hope John and Snow and Khaleesi are actually a thing. That's all I want. You want to go ahead, Julia?
Sure. So my rose is, I know this sounds bad, but my internship ended and I was like really looking forward to that. Because I was just putting in a lot of long hours and I just was exhausted and I need some time to decompress before I go back to school. My bud is that I'm moving back in and I have an apartment, so I'm excited about that. Thorn is, since I'm always the last one to move in, I have to say goodbye to each one of my friends one by one, and it always just tears me apart. Like, I would rather just be the first one to leave, I think, and just say bye to everybody, but them all leaving one by one is just so sad. So I have to say goodbye to my best friend like tonight.
Aw,
So that's my thorn.
aw, that sucks. Well, so on that note, we can get started. And so cool. I'm gonna go over this one. You guys already know this, except Marwa. I mean, I've talked about it with you before, but just gonna go over this really quickly. So as you guys know, our services are small group discussions. Junior and senior mentees have junior and senior mentees have weekly small group discussions. In the spring, seniors begin to have bi-weekly because the process is kind of towards the end for them, and juniors continue to have weekly sessions throughout the entire school year. Freshmen and sophomore students have bi-weekly sessions. Sorry, with their mentors in small groups. We are trying to keep the groups at a minimum of 5. I know last year we had some smaller groups and some much larger. We had one group with 14. So we're trying to keep it in between a minimum of 5 and a maximum of 12 and an average of hopefully 7. So we are in like the thick of our sales cycle, which has been really crazy, and also just started like doing like our institutional thing. So this last 2 weeks has been insane for us. But anyway, we also have bi-weekly one-on-one sessions throughout the entire school year for juniors and seniors, and monthly one-on-one sessions for sophomores with their mentors. You guys know you can use Zoom, you can use FaceTime, you can use your cell phone, whatever works for you guys to do the one-on-one sessions. Um, we also do college exploration workshops. I know Julia did one last year. I don't think the others did one. I know Leah did a thematic workshop on entrepreneurship, right, Leah?
Oh, it was related to that, and I guess like being a business student.
Yeah, being
in
a
general.
being a business student. So for those who or Marwa, a college exploration workshop is where a student from a current school talks about their school and goes beyond the brochure of what it's actually like to be a student at UChicago and the culture at UChicago. So from Juan and Fenghua, 2 interns this summer, I learned that there is a huge like obsession with economics, and people say things like the social cost outweighs the social benefit, and so they actually made a lot of jokes like that the entire summer. So I learned that. But so for, hopefully you'll be able to host a thematic workshop. I mean, a college recreation workshop on UChicago as your only mentor who does go to UChicago. And then thematic workshops are varied themes like Leah's on being a business student. We also had one on like the pre-med track. We had some as a day in the life as a software engineer, where a current software engineer, professional not student, comes in and talks about his day-to-day and what he does. We did so many. We did like on specific scholarships like Questbridge, the Coca-Cola scholarship, many. So we also do essay critiques, and students are able to submit as many essays as they like. one student Caroline worked with last year submitted 12 drafts, right, Caroline? Yeah, it was Julia's mentee, but Caroline liked editing essays, so she did a lot of hers. She submitted 12 essays. It got her into Tufts, so it worked out in the end. And then we also have resume reviews where they could submit the resumes as many times as they like to be edited by one of you guys. Sometimes we'll distribute it, like to take the weight off other mentors and to give freshman and sophomore mentors also opportunities to edit essays and resumes, because we think that's really fun and exciting. And mock interviews don't happen often. I don't know if Julie and Leah did them before because you guys had seniors, but Caroline did. Did she end up was she admitted, Caroline?
So she got into NSU, and that's where she is now. She was waitlisted from the dual admission to their dental school program, but I guess since she's at NSU, like if a student drops out of the dental school program, there's a chance that she might get admitted like sometime in the next 4 years.
Oh, wow, that's great. So Caroline did a mock interview with her mentee about that, and they're rare, but they do happen. And then Ask an Expert Q&A, it's just like we have different hotlines where they're able to reach us or one of you guys or someone on our team. So, oh my gosh, wrong button. Cool. So then, okay, Agilix Buzz. So I know I talked about this all school year last year, and it was really confusing, but we are 100% fully set up on Buzz. All small group discussions, in order to access it, you must go through Buzz. In order to for us to keep track of doing your one-on-one sessions, you'll have to do it through Buzz. All thematic workshops, all college exploration workshops will be on Buzz. So you guys will be logging in on Buzz, your students will be logging in on Buzz. We will be seeing what you've completed on Buzz. So I'm not gonna promise this, but I'm praying that we will no longer have to use those very, very confusing Google Sheets to track compensation, because Buzz will be our best friend, and we'll be able to see like that you said that a student participated in the one-on-one session, and we'll be able to just count, obviously, how many students you were able to host a one-on-one session with. So really quickly, I'm just gonna go into Buzz really quickly. Sorry, my computer is being so great.
So is Buzz hosting the video chats, or are we just logging everything that we do?
Cool. So I'm about to show you what it's going to look like.
Okay.
Buzz will be hosting the video chat. So like what we're going to do is have a photo or some type of like thing, image linked to the Zoom link. So once they click on that image is going to open up a Zoom link. Does that make sense? And it'll still be through Zoom, but in order to access the Zoom link, they have to go on Buzz. You guys don't have to manually email them that any information anymore.
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome. So can you guys see my screen, by the way? You see the whole Buzz thing? You'll receive all your login credentials again, because I'm sure you guys probably forgot. And Marwa, you'll be getting one made for you very soon. So this is what Buzz looks like. Mine looks a little different because I have many courses.
Sorry, I don't know what everyone else is seeing, but I'm just seeing the slideshow still. Is that correct, or?
Oh wait, sorry guys. No, you're not supposed to be seeing that. Okay. I thought you guys were all seeing Google Chrome. Cool, let me try again. Great. So now you guys see that? All right, great. So I'm just going to use, I think, the sophomores as an example because they have less things. So yeah, we still have some old stuff from last year. We're still updating it. But so as an example, let's do the college exploration workshop on BU. So it'll look something like this. Image will probably be different. And let me see something. Okay, cool. So the image will probably be different. I'm looking for okay, so this is what it's actually gonna look like, great? And they'll click, obviously, here to join the Zoom meeting for their small group discussion. If I were to click on this, it would open up a Zoom meeting for the student, great? And you'll only, I'm gonna have an individual training with you guys again, you know, once you start the school year, because it probably is confusing, but for the most part, all you need to know now is how to access Buzz and where to find everything. Great. So the student will click here to join the Zoom meeting, and they'll be able to then have a conversation with you and all your mentees, and that's how you guys will access it. There will be a folder for the resume submission where they'll also be able to submit all of their resumes to be edited by you or other mentors. And there's also a folder with one-on-one sessions. So each of these one-on-one sessions have a different deadline. I mean, have a different, deadline. So remember last year, you have 1 week to like do all of your one-on-one sessions with each mentee. So the deadline is the last Sunday to do it. So you have from one Sunday to the following Sunday. So you have that whole week before this due date to plan all of your one-on-one sessions. You'll still have to text and group me your mentees to make sure they pick a time and date. But when you open this up, you'll be able to like score it and put pass because they did it. You get what I'm saying? So obviously it's not for a grade, but you'll just say pass, and then we know like, great, Kalechi did her one-on-one session, or Delmaris did her one-on-one session. So we'll be able to do that. And there's one-on-one session for the amount of time of the school year and the due date. So that's when you see this one at September 24th, because that's a one-on-one session week for sophomores. And this one probably has a different deadline. Yeah. So December 17th for this, the sophomores. And then all of the mentoring guides, I will no longer be emailing you mentoring guides anymore. You will access them here. All of them are listed. Not only that, this year will be using a lot of PowerPoints, a lot of visuals, videos, images to make our sessions more engaging and really fun for the kids. So, for example, week 5, if you open it up, we have this mentoring guide. Give it a second to load. Great. With different topics that you guys can use. There's some activities that we will now be including to suggest with each of your mentees once you go through it. Yeah, sorry about that. So you guys can go through it. These activities are recommended, suggested, but not prescriptive. If you have your own really cool, fun activities, we really encourage you to include them in your session, and please share with us. And here's the PowerPoint that goes with that week. So, but one of the things that's really important is because we have these mentoring guides now, and with all of these PowerPoints and these visuals, it's imperative that you review your mentoring guide at least a week in advance before your session, because you don't want to like open it up and then see, oh shit, we have a PowerPoint today, I didn't include it because you just clicked on the mentoring guide. You know what I'm saying? Or sometimes there's, for the juniors, there's going to be a session where you'll have to run through several SAT practice problems. So if you don't know the answer to the problem and you mess up and you give the student the answer C, but it's actually D, then we look unprepared and it's not a good image for the students. So it's really important that you're reviewing your mentoring guides beforehand, just a quick, run through, seeing what's in, and then, maybe taking some notes on how could I can add more activities to this, or maybe I can make my own PowerPoint. Maybe this one's ugly or a piece of crap. You make your own. So this is just a PowerPoint that we use on like picking your schools and different things that, contribute to like building your college list. So we have a bunch of like resources similar to that one throughout the school year. So it's important that you do that. So I think this one has, this is like a chart for just the differences between a liberal arts college and university. But we also have a mentoring guide to go with it. So if you didn't show this, and for these, you can share your screen, download them, share your screen, and you go through it with the students, because they won't have access to this folder. Only mentors will be able to view this folder. Get what I'm saying? So I think that's it for Buzz. I know this is really overwhelming. Is there any questions that you guys have? Great. Sorry. I'm trying to make sure I went through everything. Perfect. So now we're back to the PowerPoint. Like I said, if you don't remember from last year, please reach out. I have no problem like running through this with you guys. Marwa, I will have a full session with you. It's not long. I think it was like maybe 15 or 20 minutes last year. We don't use all the functionality for this, but we do use, the ones that I think are important for us. Are you guys seeing now the PowerPoint, or what are you seeing? Yeah. All right, give me 1 second. Let me just share my desk. Cool. Great, now you do, right? So let's go here, back to the slideshow. All right, cool. So as you guys know, I don't, or not you guys, sorry. So everything is the same from last year. Mentors are paid bi-weekly via direct deposit. Marwa, actually, I think I was supposed to call you on Monday at 5, wasn't I? Yes, I was. I'm sorry. But I was supposed to call you at 5 to set this up. I will call you probably after this to get you set up on our ADP system. And all of mentors are paid as independent contractors. It's just you don't get paid on a W-2. You get paid as a 1099 employee, and you pay your taxes in January, February once you filed. And then we have ADP employee portal for you to download your 1099 form and all the other tax information that you need. And you're able to see like your check stubs there at every 2 weeks once the payroll is good. Great. So how we make it happen. I already explained the mentoring guides and the new activities and resources that are included in each of the mentoring guides. Not all of them have PowerPoints or stuff, but many of them have PowerPoints or have visuals or have videos. So you'll see that a lot. One thing that I think we always emphasize is autonomy. We want our sessions to be Julia's session. We want our sessions to be like Aaliyah's session. Whenever we want our students to be able to build a culture with you and get to know you. So it's important that you are autonomous and feel free to incorporate your own experience and how you navigated the college process and share stories about things that you've learned while you've been in college. Obviously, it's important to be objective. So not like, oh, I got a 2300. So if you got a 2300, you're so good, like you're getting in. That's not true. So, but it's important for you guys to be autonomous and to really build a culture with your mentees. I think Danny Meyer spoke about this yesterday, how it's important for your students to feel cared about, to feel encouraged, to feel loved and respected. And I think encouraging teamwork, and not only amongst you and your mentees, but your mentees amongst each other. So for each of your mentees to be like, hey, dude, you're amazing, and hopefully you'll get into Brown, and let's work on a personal statement together. How can I help you? And encouraging them to work together and to build a positive culture within your group sessions is really important. I know this is something that we tried to incorporate at the end of last school year, but it's something that we think is incredibly important moving forward, so we can have high attendance across the board with all of our mentees. There's nothing worse than coming to a session with 1 student or 0 students for that matter. So we really are trying so deeply to build a culture, and but the way I think we can do this is by getting to know our mentees. So maybe Julia and Caroline go to Brown, so I should connect them so they can hang out on campus or something like that. Or 2 of my mentees are really interested in philosophy, and maybe I could set them up so they could talk about philosophy together. I remember that one of my mentees is applying to the USC summer program, and the other one is applying to UCLA summer program. Let's talk to them together about California and Los Angeles and what these summer programs really mean, and how we could really craft our application for these summer programs to maximize our chances of being admitted. So these types of conversations, just remembering small details about their life and who they are, and Tony's coming, their personality, is really important to building a culture for your students. I don't know if they can see you.
Yeah, I think they can. Perfect. I'm totally interrupting this. Hi, everybody. Just to give you a heads up, Daniel, we can't find the IT guy. Daniel might have told you we're on a school campus right now.
But what do you need them for?
We got locked out of the computer again.
Oh my
It's
God.
all right, YOLO. We're just going to improvise.
But, oh, well, yeah.
Sorry, guys. Have a good one. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. So that's one thing that we really want to instill with each of you guys, and for you guys to instill with each of your mentees, this whole idea of really building a culture. Do you guys have any suggestions or tips on how you would go about building a culture you guys want to share? Thank you. No, cool. All right. Well, Sorry. One thing that I think is important is maybe I know last year we thought we like came across this idea, but like maybe the idea of like using a team name or giving yourself like maybe you're Ravenclaw, maybe you're Gryffindor, whatever, maybe like a group name to like represent yourself and your group of mentees, I think would be really great. And having them take away things from themselves, or maybe like having like inside jokes with them. I don't know if you guys had like things that came up often with your mentees that you'd talk about or whatever, but if anybody, so no tips, no suggestions? Cool, then we can skip that part. Right, so,
This isn't, sorry.
no, go ahead, please.
This isn't a suggestion, it's a question. But are we doing that thing that you introduced in the second half of last year where we had team names and the team that got like the highest attendant could choose a charity of their choice to donate $1,000 to?
Yeah, I think we will do that again this year. We haven't really talked about it since then, but I think we will do it. I think it's really fun for us. I think it was fun. Did your mentees find it fun?
I think so. The ones that came during the second half of the year.
Yeah, I know with the seniors, it was like, oh my God, it was so hard to get them to come during the second half.
I couldn't even get my kids to come up with a team name because they weren't all there at the same time.
Yeah. I know the seniors are like, oh my God, they're so checked out by the end of the year. So that's why we're going to do the bi-weekly sessions, small group discussion, and the weekly, bi-weekly small groups and bi-weekly one-on-ones. But hopefully moving forward, that's not an issue that we'll have. I mean, senioritis is definitely a thing. So we'll do the best we can. And I think we will do that again, Caroline, but I'm going to talk to Tony about it, and then we'll go from there. Cool. So this calendar was made before I made the decision to no longer use this calendar. But I'm going to explain to you how this calendar is wrong and what we're going to do moving forward. So that's why I left it here. Last year, all of the senior sessions were on Tuesday. All of the junior sessions were on Wednesday. All of the sophomore and freshman sessions occurred on Thursday. And Saturday sessions were all grade levels for those who could not attend throughout the week. This year, there is going to be one senior session on Tuesday, one on Wednesday, one on Thursday, one on Saturday. One junior session on Tuesday, one on Wednesday, one on Thursday, one on Saturday. So on with your freshmen, same thing. Sophomores, same thing. College exploration on Monday like normal. Thematic workshops on Fridays like normal. So what this means is that we will most likely not be using a calendar like this. It's too difficult to create. We will still use the monthly calendars to advertise the college exploration and thematic workshops. But because of Buzz, we will no longer have to remember our weeks. The due dates are there. You'll see them scheduled. You'll see them throughout from fall semester all at once. You'll see them placed, and for your spring semester at the beginning of January, all of them will be on Buzz, so you can just go in and know when you're having them. And the times will be the same for you. So if you're Tuesday at 7:30, you'll be Tuesday at 7:30 from August until May, unless you're studying abroad in Australia and you'll have to leave us, which will be sad. But that should be normal, and if anything changes, let us know. Everyone's group is set in stone except Julia's. So, sorry, Julia. Caroline, you're doing seniors. Marwa, I think you're doing seniors or juniors, one of the two. And Leah, you're doing sophomores. So, Julia, you're either sophomores or freshmen. We haven't.
Okay.
Yeah. So we haven't decided yet because there's one mentor whose availability we're trying to work with to pick between freshmen and sophomores. Cool.
Okay.
So our mentors, we have a lot of the same mentors from last year, which is great. We all know the process. We all know each other already, and we're going to get to work with each other. We also have 2.5 new mentors because we're still in process of hiring the third. We interviewed her, so Tony, we just have to send her an email, offer the position, and wait for her to accept. But Marwa is one of the newest additions from U Chicago. Gina Fonseca, Miami, born and raised, goes to Boston University pursuing a BFA in acting, which I think is really cool. She's the first mentor that we have that's interested in the arts and is pursuing a BFA. So for students working with her, they're going to get like a really cool new twist to the process. And she has a great story behind her too. So I thought that was really cool. She met Lin-Manuel Miranda in person on the stage of Hamilton before they even showed it. So I was really jealous. But that was great. And Gina's fantastic. And all of our team is fantastic. We do have few mentors from last year that are dormant this year that are either traveling abroad or taking 6 classes and aren't able to mentor during the fall, but will either be back in the spring or the following year. But these are all of the schools that they come from, and everybody here is amazing. All right, monthly grade level meetings. So, but I thought this picture was sexist because it only has men in suits, so I added some women. And so at the end of every month, we have grade level meetings with each grade level. So all of the senior mentors, all of the sophomores, all the freshmen, and so on, to talk about best practices and the challenges that we had that month with our mentees and the successes that we had that month with our mentees. So this is just really our time to debrief, to get to know each other, and to really just talk about our mentees and how we can make this the best experience for them, or how they're all being jerks and not coming, or whatever the situation is. Hopefully not the latter. I will be very upset. Not at you guys, but we have, you guys know how these go, and these are optional, but they're really fun, and they're just like 30, 45 minutes. And I think it's a really good opportunity for us to get to know each other and to make this thing come to life, because we're all so far from each other. I think these meetings are really special, and I think I really enjoy them, and I hope you guys did too, and we'll continue to do so this school year. And I know they were sporadic in the spring, but what we'll be doing is calendaring them at the beginning of the month rather than the ending, so you have a whole month to plan ahead of, will you be available May 17th at 9 p.m. Cool. So our team, you guys know, is composed of Tony, myself, Danny Meyer, who helps us mostly on trainings and on building our curriculum and revamping our process. But Jamaris is another one of our full-time team members. I'm full-time. Jamaris is full-time. Tony is part-time. He also has another full-time position as working in management consulting for a firm called End to Growth. But Jamaris worked with us full-time. She did all of our social media. She interned with us during the spring, did all of our social media, all of our Facebook. I know Caroline, you met her. I don't know if you've ever met her, Julia and Leah. But she's amazing, and she's really helped us with so many things that is not marketing this summer because there just wasn't enough. I mean, there was just too much things to do that I kind of outweighed posting on Instagram, even though I actually think that's really important. But she's been such an incredible help, developed so many different materials for us, and worked a lot with getting us ready for this upcoming school year. And I think you guys will reap the benefits of her dedication. And we're so happy to have her, and she's amazing. If you guys know anyone who's interested in Prepory, we think you're all competent to share the information about the program itself. Feel free to talk to them about your experience as a mentor and how you feel like your mentees grew after they worked with you, and share stories about each of the people that you worked with and where they're going and who they're going to become or want to be after working with you. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, I'd love for you to connect us via email. You can CC me or all three of us, Tony, Jamaris, and Tony, saying, hey, this kid would be a great kid to work with in Prepory. And I think they would really benefit from your program. You should share information with them. And then, or you can ask them to contact us via email or phone. If you guys, for example, Marwa, if any of your ESL kids are from low-income backgrounds who people cannot afford to be enrolled in the program, we'd love to sponsor them through Excessive to be enrolled in the program and benefit from the same type of service that a student with all of the access and all of the resources in the world could. So like income is not an issue. If they're unable to afford it, just let us know and we'll do our best we can to serve them. Great. Questions? Does anybody have any questions about what I went over, anything at all? All right, cool. So if you do, feel free to contact Tony, Jamaris, or myself. I'm going to type Jamaris's name into the chat box really quickly, just in case since you guys don't have it. One thing that I really do strongly encourage you to do is to please email her any photos of yourself on campus with your friends, like Leah, like your badass fashion photos. If you could send them to her to give us content to add to our Instagram, that would be really cool. Because we think it's important to show like all of the faces of college, not just like the cool part of getting in and all that hype, but just like what you do after you got there, that these people at these amazing schools are actually people and not just like reading books 24/7, which is cool if that's your thing. Julia, that was funny. But we really want to showcase that, and we're really trying to like, we actually just got verified on Facebook, so that was really exciting for us. And yeah, if you have any photos or we also like, we're gonna start this new thing called People with the hashtag, like, you know, Humans of New York. I don't know if you guys follow them, but it's like hashtag People of Prepory, where we feature our mentors and like, oh, Julia is amazing, or just like one sentence about how Julia is so cool, like the struggles that she went through and how she's still cool. Or then we also want to feature our mentees, so like things like Kalechi, and we're like the picture with you and Maria, I think is such a great photo, Leah, for us to use like the hashtag People of Prepory story, and just like that 1-2 sentences, 3 sentences like on Humans of New York to get people engaged and not just post a million ads, because nobody likes that. So yeah, and if you guys are not following us already, these are our what are these called, at names for, or handles for each of our social media accounts. Please follow us, like everything we post, share everything we post, and comment, just so we can feel like we're reaching out to people. And ask your mentees to follow us. Our Instagram game is really weak right now, but it will be on fleek very soon. I take my Instagram really seriously. So Jamaria will be running this one, but she will do great. And yeah, and if you have any content, please email Jamara's photos. If you study abroad, send her photos. You can do even a screenshot of you working with your mentees on Buzz or Zoom. Send her photos, or oh my God, I'm sorry, flies. Whatever it is, just send her stuff so we can get some stuff and content here. Cool?
Okay.
Then that's pretty much it. Any questions, guys?
No.
All right, perfect. Well, I will be bombarding your emails probably tomorrow or Monday with a list of your mentees, all of the grade levels you'll be working with, all of your new Buzz information. So a lot of info. I apologize in advance. I try to make my emails as concise as possible, but there's just so much information to share in these months. But if there's anything I can do to help you moving forward, text me, Marwa. Next time I set up a time to call and don't call, just be like, what the fuck, dude? Like, are you kidding me? Why didn't you call me? No, but seriously. Just text me and be like, hey, I'm waiting on your call or something. That does happen sometimes. I'm really sorry about it, but I will try for that not to happen. And anything you guys need, please let me know. And that's pretty much it. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for joining me. And I hope you all have a great night.
Have a good night.
Bye, guys.
Bye.